And what I go for, and what I do is probably a little bit thicker than a lot of people do crepes or bleenies. I go just to when it starts to not be very liquidy anymore. It's kind of hard to describe. You can see maybe there that over the top there's lines showing in the top when I whisk. So that's not very liquidy, but it's still very liquidy when I pull out. So I think maybe one more third cup should just about do it. So now we're at 1 2/3 cups white flour and 1 cup whole wheat flour. And I think that's probably going to do it for us. Yes, it's thickening up. Possibly a little bit too much here. See, I'm left-handed, so I'm on the wrong side of you here. When I'm beating with my left hand, I'm blocking the camera. Now this is thickening up a lot because this is getting hard to do this way. This isn't really meant for combining or mixing, doing this method with a whisk. Yeah, so I think we're probably good there. We'll see how that looks when we get it on the stove. It's better to be a little bit too thin. We'll get it on the stove. I'll meet you over there, and if need be, we'll try one. If need be, we'll add a bit more flour. So here we go with the bleenies. I've got my, I use this little cast iron skillet. It's about the perfect size for a bleenie because you want your bleenies to be perfectly round if you can. Yes, we see you, boy. And what I do is for everyone I put a little swipe of butter in there, and in between swipes I put this back in the fridge to keep it cold. I found out the hard way that this will just keep melting and melting. It gets pretty sloppy by the end of it. And I also have this small ladle, which for me is about 1 bleenie's worth of stuff. So we'll just give that a little swipe in the pan. Shove this back in the fridge. And now we will take this. Now that mixture's looking pretty good. Oh wait, no, I use more than one, don't I? Now I'm remembering. Here we go. And we just go around like that.
That looks like a big giant good pancake.
Yeah.
I mean bleenie.
Yeah, bleenie. Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I just got mixed up with bleenies and pancakes.
You do?
I like them both.
You like them both. Right. And where do bleenies come from?
Ukrainian.
Yeah, they're Ukrainian. You're right.
And I gotta put stuff in the middle.
You're going to put, yeah, we'll show everybody on the video the proper way to eat bleenies. It's not like pancakes. You put jam on them and roll them up and fold them.
Or we can put peanut butter.
You can put peanut butter on them if you want. Yes, you can.
And there's some chicken bones that I have to wish with.
You do?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you're just looking at stuff and talking nonsense now.
My dad likes that mixture, but I don't.
Alright, so I am going to... So these are a little bit trickier than pancakes because you don't have any room on the sides for flipping and so forth. If I really want it to get fancy, let me see. Yeah, fancy.
Fancy bleenies.
If I really wanted to get fancy, I could try to flip them like a pancake, but I don't think that's going to work because they...
Stick to the side.
So what I do is just this. There we go. Whoops. So that's a good mixture right there. This is turning out just fine. It's probably slightly on the thick side, but that's a-okay. So we'll go with that recipe, and in the future I will take that recipe and weigh out the flour for it, and then we'll have it.
You have to cut them off the sides of the bleenies.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Alright, there's a tip from the #1 bleenie connoisseur in the house. And we got to get him fed his Ukrainian Bleenies before Ukrainian dance, which we have to go to soon.
I don't want to go today.
Oh yes, sure. Okay, so, and what I do is I just keep a plate on hand, which you can see here, and as I'm making them, I just keep stacking them up on the plate. Now I go back to my fridge, I get my little thing of butter, I give it a quick little wipe.
It's sure hot. Oh, it burned me. It burned me.
It's
It
hot.
burned me.
Come out of off the top of the stove. I don't know why it would be hot.
You're going to say from the stove. Inside the stove here.
Whoops. I blew that one a little bit, but that's okay.
Got it, you guys? Inside stove, he was going to say.
Okay. And that's basically all there is to it. You keep doing that until you're all done. Obviously, it would be nice to have a second pan. I could do 2 of these at the same time. Oh, I know you want one right away. Yes. So here. You take that and go in the room and eat it.
With peanut butter.
With peanut butter, yes. Alright, so we're going to see about flipping this bad boy. Now, if I wanted to flip it like a pancake, the way you do that, now these cast iron pans, the way you do that is you flip it up like this a little bit, but it's not coming up. You flick, flick, flick to get the edges up, with but it's not flicking up. Let's see, there, look at that, almost did it. Almost, almost, almost. I didn't hit the center of the pan. Came pretty close to doing it though. That's if you want to be fancy. You do that. And that's it. I will keep making them, and basically I'll show you in a second here about eating. I won't do a separate clip on eating as soon as I get that one out of there. And how do you know when to flip it? I'll show you that in a second. They take a lot quicker to cook than pancakes because they are so thin. Oh, I need my butter fork out of the fridge. Give it a quick little wipe. And blocking you out. And just give it some encouragement to the edges. I think it's safe to get rid of this at this point. So now here's what you do basically to eat a Bleenie. This is the way I learned when I was on exchange in Ukraine. Normally you'll have the table set with a big stack of these bad boys, and you'll have different things out like jams and that sort of stuff. It's normally jam or whatever, but all different kinds. You take a little bit on a spoon, wipe it in the middle here, and then you roll it up like that, and after it's been rolled you fold it in half, and that's how they eat the Bleenies in Odessa anyway. Don't know about the rest of the former Soviet Union. So how do you tell when it's ready to flip? You can see here that it is getting cooked all around the outside fairly well. It's quite obviously getting cooked. So it's still very liquidy in the middle, but that gives you an idea when it's ready to flip. That's going to be pretty much ready there now. Just looking at it on the outside, and there. That's that.